The past simple. Let's learn how to use the past simple. The past simple is used to tell us about things that have already happened. Maybe they happened yesterday, maybe years ago, or even just an hour ago. When we want to change regular verbs into the past simple, we just add ed to the end of the verb, like this: jump, jumped; talk, talked; want, wanted; look, looked. Here's how to make sentences with these verbs. I jumped very high when I was a kid. We talked last week. This morning, she wanted to sleep late. It looked like it would rain yesterday. Did you notice the verbs in the past are the same for everyone? It's simple. Now you try. Which verb would you choose for these sentences? The teacher worked quickly yesterday. Yossi baked me a cake for my birthday 2 weeks ago. My brothers walked very far to school when they were young. Our family played that video game for years. For these regular verbs, we simply add ed to the end of each verb. It was easy. But not all verbs are regular verbs. Some verbs are irregular. This means that they do not end in ed. They have different endings. For example, in the past, see becomes saw. Write becomes wrote. Eat becomes ate. And say becomes said. Let's use these words in sentences. I saw that movie already. The boss wrote you an email on Friday. My parents ate at that restaurant last year. She said I did a great job. It takes time to remember how to say these verbs in the past, but with a little practice, you can do it. And remember, if you don't know how to say other irregular verbs in the past, you know the ones that don't end with ed, you can always use a dictionary. But there is another type of verb. Sometimes we have sentences in which no one is doing anything. These sentences usually describe someone or something. Do you remember the video about the verb to be? There, we learned that the words am, is, and are all forms of the verb to be in the present simple. If I want to describe people or things using the present simple, I say, I am happy. The book is long. The children are tired. Let's learn how to say these things in the past simple. When we use I, or when we use he, she, or it in the past simple, we use the verb was. When we talk about you, we, and they, we use the verb were. For example, I was happy yesterday at the festival. The book was long, but it was good. The children were tired after the trip. Now you try. Change these sentences from the present simple to the past simple. I was at the party last night. Last year, he was in my class. My brothers were very nice to my new boyfriend. The train was late this morning. Now that we know how to use verbs in the past simple to say things that happened in the past, let's learn how to say things that did not happen. Look at these sentences. I did not take the last cookie. The glass did not break. Do you see which words show that something did not happen? That's right. We use the words did not. Did you also notice that the verbs take and break are not in the past simple here? They are in the base form of the verb. Let's practice taking some sentences which talk about what did happen in the past simple and change them to talk about what did not happen. Look at this sentence. The man parked his car. How can we say what did not happen? The man did not drive his car. Did you remember to use the verb drive in the base form because we have the word did in the sentence? Let's try another one. The children ran to catch the bus. Can we say what did not happen? The children did not walk to catch the bus. We used did not and used the base form of the verb walk. Last one before we finish. I thought about you yesterday. How can we say that this did not happen last week? I did not think about you last week. We added did not and changed thought to think. That was excellent. Now let's learn how to use the verb to be in the past simple to show that something is not true. Look at these sentences. I was not the last person to leave work today. The animals were not in the jungle. Did you see which word shows that something is not true? That's right. We used the word not after the verb to be. Let's practice taking some sentences which talk about things that were true in the past simple and changing them to talk about things that were not true. Look at this sentence. Sandy was sick on Friday. How can we say that this was not true for Sharon? That's right. We say Sharon was not sick on Friday. Let's try another one. The bananas were in the freezer. How can we say that this is not true for the apples? That's right. The apples were not in the freezer. Last one before we finish. I was happy after I learned about the past simple. How can we say that this was not true before you learned about the past simple? I was not happy before I learned about the past simple. You now know how to use the past simple. You were really great today. You worked hard. You did a great job. If you did not understand anything in this video, you can watch it again. Bye.